So here I'm going to show you what exactly you have to do when you log into your TWS. So when you first log in, I will show you the login prompt later on at the end of this video, but when you log in, you will get a message like this. Okay, you'll get this kind of a message. You'll get a pop-up here, which is going to be something like this. Okay, and then you'll get a warning message saying that this is not a brokerage account. It's a paper trading. Just click, wait for the whole thing to load. Okay, once the whole software is loaded, it's pretty big. Then you click and just say I understand and accept. So then you have this. You have a opportunity to take a quick tour later on. You can do it on your own time. But right now I say not now, just get started. Okay, then I go and maximize this. So I have a big screen. Okay, so this is your mosaic. If you want, you can always operate here. If you want, you can add your tickers over here. But I'm going to show you a more sort of intuitively. It's a little easier. I just want to focus on data entry initially, because I want you to do your analytics and using other some of the analytics will be done using other software. So here, this is the screen that you're going to see when you log in. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to add the tickers here. How would you know what the tickers are? Let's go to NSE. Okay, and okay, so let's say, how would you go to the NSE? I've a little bit gone ahead a little bit here, so let me go and start from the beginning. When you go to the NSE web page, you will see this. You'll look at live market, look at equity stock. Really stupid terminology, but this is what they have. So you got to click on equity stock, and immediately it gives you the default view that it gives you is the Nifty 50. If you want, you can always take other sectoral indices, but we stick with the default view. Just make sure that it's showing you the Nifty 50. Then you'll see this. Okay, so you have all the Nifty 50 stocks, and you can see here right now we are interested in this particular column, which is the last traded price, which we are going to compare with our platform TWS platform prices to make sure that the data is live. Okay, so here you see all the tickers. If you want, you can get more information on the tickers here, but essentially it gives you these are the tickers. Okay, so Infi means this is the ticket for Infosys. Okay, so yeah, these are the tickers. So let's just look at, so this is what you are going to compare with. You're going to focus on the last traded price column and change. This will give you an easy way to locate the column when we go down, because change is in green or red. Okay, so let's look at this, and you'll have to keep refreshing the page because this is not on auto refresh. So now we go back to the platform. Okay, you have a whole bunch of these things. If you want, you can add another here. I do plus here, create a new custom layout. Let's call it NSE. So to understand our terminology better, NSE cash equities. Okay, now this cash here is meant to be used in distinction with derivatives. Okay, this is not equity derivatives, but it is cash equities. This cash is not the same as instruments trading value today, where the transaction date is the same as the settlement date. This is not that kind of cash. We use the word cash in a different context when we are comparing it to derivatives. So NSE cash equities. Why am I giving it this kind of name? Because this is meant to the software is so sophisticated, I keep changing it. Step 1, select one or more trading tools. Let's arrange the tools. Okay, so just log right now. I'm just gonna have log order entry. Okay, and I don't want to have order entry. I have a watch list as well. Okay, this is getting very complicated here. They've changed the. Okay, let me go back to the classic TWS. I want to have a classic. They've changed the ways to create the classic layout. Just ship it here. Let me see. here. N for NSE. Okay, the better way. Okay, just click there and go there. Okay, so we start with the NSE instrument. So let me first add, let's say, ITC. What I'm going to do initially is I want to try. Now, when you add ITC, you will see that there are many options. When you enter any ticker, you'll see many options. We are not interested in ITC Holdings Corporation. Okay, we are interested in ITC Limited on the NSE, and we are not interested in futures. We are not interested in options. Right now, we are only interested in the stock, which is the cash equity market. Okay, so you can see this now. The font is very small. So let me try and do the configuration here. Okay, I like big fonts. Okay, so let's go to display settings and see if we can increase the font size. Maybe it's in general. Okay, it's in style. Okay, so the font I like is, okay, let it be in Vivekananda, no problem, but the font size of 14 is too small, so let's make it 26. Apply. Okay, let's hope it works. It's a little bit on now. It's become too big, but I want to change this. I want to be able to see the bid and ask very clearly, and I want to see the last price very clearly. Okay, so we'll change this back. 26 is again too big. We want to change it to maybe 20 for our purposes. 20, apply. Okay, it's a little bit better. Okay, so we have ITC. Now what do we see here? What we're doing at this stage is we are testing for the whether the data is live or not. We have already tested the two tests that we do here. The first is the test to see whether the login information that I've given you is working to get you into this particular software environment. Please make sure you enter your data correctly, so that when you tell me that it's not working, please make sure you test it correctly, you enter the password correctly, etc. Alright, so let's look at now what we are testing now. Having been able to successfully enter into the software, we are now testing to see whether the NSE data is actually live or is it delayed. Okay, so delayed means usually it will come with a 15-minute delay. We want to make sure that it's actually live. Okay, so let's look at the 274. This green and red stuff means this last price that you see, 274.30, is up from the previous price. Again, the red means that the bid and ask are down from the previous bid and ask. Okay, so let's look at it now. 274.30, 274.25. Now you can see that's why from 30 to 25, that's why this line is red. Okay, all right, so the time now is 10:38. Let's try and see 274.30. now this is where we're going to have to test it. Okay, let's, we don't need this, we don't need this. Okay, right, we are going to test it against what? This NSE feed is a little delayed. We are going to test it against Google Finance. So go to Google Finance, just go to Google, look for finance. Okay, this is already in Google Finance, so check for Google Finance and then go for, here we want to go for ITC. Okay, so it will give you this option, go for ITC Limited NSE, because NSE is actually pumping out live data into all these platforms. You see it's 10:39 IST, it is already 10:39. Then the data is, check for 5 days to see where we are relative to. Okay, click the 5-day chart so you know where we are in terms of the price, or actually 1 day would be better because you can see the previous day's closing price. Okay, so 274.25 is the price at 10:39, and let's see our platform price. Well, it's 30, but it's very close, so it is back to 25. So I think from this it's fairly clear. See, it's hovering between 25 and 30, the last traded price, and it is here also is 25 and 30. So if you see, it's already 50 here, so 30 means it's here, very close. Okay, very close. So 25 and 30. If you refresh it once again at 10:40, what is the price? 25. It's still 25. So I think it's fairly clear now that this data is live. Okay, because you can see it's very close to the price that you see on. So this is actually, in a way, it's very strange that we're testing software live data against web page live data. And here too you can see the NSE is pumping out. This is much better, you don't have to refresh it. If you go to Yahoo Finance at 10:40, it's 25.30, you can see 10:41. Okay, 274.25. Let's look at it. It is 25. It just changed to 30. In fact, if you start looking, if you can use two screens and you start looking carefully, you will see that this live data, because it is actually real live data that's coming straight from the exchange, and the exchange here is filtering out some of the changes. So what you might see, the price moves from 274.25 to 274.45. Some of the steps through which it jumps in the course of going from 25 to 45, some of those steps will not be shown on these web page live updates, but they will show up on your software, which is actually because the software is really coming straight from the exchange servers without any filtering. So this is what you see. Okay, so now we are fairly sure that, and since ITC is live data, it's fairly clear that everything else will also be live data. Let's add one more stock which we know to be very actively traded. Let's trade we have to look at okay, let's look at Infi. Okay, so I'm going to add Infi. To add a ticker, you just click on one of the rows, do Infi, type Infi and hit enter. When you hit enter, you have multiple options. You can see Infosys ADR on the NYSE. This is not what we're interested in. So you have to go down and see, again, Infosys NSE. We're not interested in the futures, not in the options. We're only interested in the stock. Well, actually, this should be the cash market stock, which is oddly enough cash market because it's not a derivative market. But technically, it is actually trading value spot. Okay, so here we see NSE prices. Let's test this one also, just to be sure, because we want to be, before we conclude that we are actually getting, sorry, click for Infi, type Infi. Make sure you do not choose this, because this is New York Stock Exchange, I guess, the ADR. You don't want to click that. You want to click Enfi.ns, which is NSE. Alright, now you see at 10:43, NSE is trading at, so sorry, not NSE, but Infi is trading at 715.85. You can see how it is. Just look at 1 day's movement. No, it's not really a 1-day chart. There's something wrong here. There's something wrong with the charting functions actually, but anyway, it doesn't matter. We are not interested in the charting function so much, but we want to look at the data. 715.75 at 10:44. Okay, and what is it? 715.70.80. So it is reasonably close. And here you can see the time, 10:44.27. So 80, 85, it is also 85. Again, moving between 80 and 85. So I think we can it's gone to 90. See, this is also 90. Okay, so now it's fairly clear that now it's gone to 90, 95. That will show 95 here. So you can see now that we got a second confirmation from Infosys as well that the data is live, okay, for one of the logins that I'm testing. But you still need to test it for your logins, because we want to make sure that all the logins are working for all your teams. You have 3 logins each. Make sure that one of the logins is not touched. You set up the accounts, you set up the stocks, all the Nifty 50 stocks, and then you make sure that you do your practice trading in only 2 of the accounts. Ideally, leave the first account that I've given you, leave that as the project trading account, and then do the last 2 logins that I've given you and use that for practice. And what are you going to do? How are you going to practice? We'll add one more ticker to be safe. Let's add HDFC Bank. Okay, once again I click on this HDFC. If you click on it again, housing development finance. No, this is okay, we'll just choose this. Okay, it's actually not HDFC Bank, it's HDFC that we are looking at. Remember that these are different companies. So here again, we don't want the futures and options, which are derivative contracts. We are looking in we're interested in the cash market. We click stock and we get the HDFC 2240.25. What is the 2240.90? But let's look at HDFC just here. Not HDFC Bank. When I said HDFC Bank, we're not interested in HDFC Bank. But anyway, what we'll do is we will test it for the bank. For some reason, these guys are not showing. Just make sure that it's part of the Nifty. It is. It will be there. I'm pretty sure it will be there. Just test it. Or let's test TCS. Okay. See, now you see TCS. So many other companies could be called TCS. We're not interested in all this container store group. We want Tata Consultancy on the NSE. Check the exchange. You don't want futures options. You want only the stock. So TCS is 2102.75. Let's go for TCS. 2102.30, 1047. 2102.45. Let's see. Okay, we got it back to 30. Figure 10. So that 00 is called figure 60. 0160, 0110 is dropping quite fast, obviously. So 210110. So you can see here, this is where you see the difference between how superior the software feed is compared to in a stock which is dropping very fast. You can see how fast this is changing, but all these updates are not going to come to the web page. Okay, 2101 figure 48, and it is already a figure. So this is also live, but you can see how fast the software-based feed is changing. Okay, so we are done. Now what we want to do is just practice trading a little bit. Suppose I have a bearish view on TCS. What I do is I look at the chart. Now this chart is a little bit odd here. Let's look at TCS, Tata Consultancy, stock, NSE. It's only a 15-minute chart. Not really good enough, but let's look at 1 week. Okay, it's pretty high up. Okay, now let's look at 60 minutes. Okay, this is not a stock that one wants to be. I'm not sure if this high is higher than this high. We can find that out. We can look for TCS. Again, TCS on the NSE, Tata Consultancy Services here. Let's look at TCS. Let's look at one-year data. Okay, there's some problem with this chart. We'll form the view later. let's see what the problem. There seems to be a problem with the chart. Everywhere you go, there is a problem with the chart. Okay, only on the line chart there's no problem. Let's assume that this is a new high. Okay, so there is a problem here because let's see if we can get. This is TCS. I want a better chart actually. I want. You can check the chart from Money Control. They have much better charts, but anyway, let's assume that here's my stop. Let's assume that I'm actually bullish on this stock. Okay, if you get line chart data, it's much easier to track. Okay, so if we track even max, should be okay. Yeah, here we are. It looks like a very strong uptrend. We don't want logarithmic scaling, we want linear scaling. Alright, so we have this and we look at 1 year, and here I'm saying that let's say my stop is 2048, so 2047 is the stop. This is the previous low from which a new high was made, so I form a bullish view on this. Now the stock is, this is giving me an opportunity to buy the stock as it has fallen a lot from the highest point. I'm assuming this is higher than the previous high, and it's giving me an opportunity to buy. And I'm going to set the stop here because if it breaks below this, then the pattern of higher highs and higher lows is broken. Well, invalidates my assumption. So I'm going to buy it here. So how do I buy it? Now I could buy it at market. Now we've discussed buying at market. So what do? These are bid and offer prices. You know, the bid is so smaller than the offer. Okay, so because this is the market maker quoting prices, we'll cover all this later once again, but I'm just giving you a summary. The market maker quotes prices just like you look at a money changer's foreign exchange trading prices. The market maker wants to buy at a lower price and sell to you at a higher price always, and you will have to deal on his prices. So I want to buy it immediately. I don't want to waste my time here because I think there's a great opportunity to buy this. So I immediately go ahead and buy it at market. Okay, so here you have different types of options. We'll discuss these kinds of orders later on. Many different types of orders, but right now I'm interested in a market order. I want to buy 100 shares. Okay, you can make it even 1 share if you want. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Let's make it 1,000 shares. Thousand shares. This is valid. We don't really have to worry. It's a market order. It'll get executed immediately. This is market order. Transmit it. This is another. No problem. I don't have a problem with this. Override. Change the limit of. This is the limit that you can change. Okay. The default limit is 500 shares. You can change the limit if you want to. Okay. Change the limit, or you just update. I'm not going to bother. I will just ignore. I'll override and transmit this order. Notice it doesn't say anything to you about the delayed data. Okay, it's another proof that your this is another proof that your data is live. Okay, notice while I've been explaining all this to you how the price is dropping even more. Okay, I was going to buy it at 2102. This is 2101. Now it's dropped a lot. I override and transmit.
Order partially filled.
See how the order is getting filled?
Order partially filled.
I want 1,000 shares.
Order partially filled.
See how long it takes to buy 1,000 shares?
Order partially filled.
I bought only 600 so far. 645.
Order partially filled. Order partially filled.
Now the order is filled.
Order filled.
Yeah. See? So now you see, if you want to go to your trade log, you want to see. Maximize this. Okay, so the trade log at a summary level tells you that you bought 1,000 shares of TCS at 21 average price. This is your average price at 2180 paise. Now you look at this breakdown. Okay, see how long it takes to buy 1,000 shares in India. And this is one of the best platform that you can get for any kind of stock and any kind of cash market, derivative market trading anywhere in the world. The best trading software anywhere in the world. Look at how long it takes. in the Indian market. This shows you the liquidity of the market. 1,000 shares is nothing really, actually, if you think about it. But see how long it takes to buy 1,000 shares. Compare this to the US markets, and you'll see what I mean by developed equity market or developed financial market. Okay, so now look at this. I've got a problem to worry about. Okay, rehashing some of the concepts. Average price, it's telling me my average price is 2103.47 half. Okay, why is this average price? Okay, I think that has to do with the brokerage that is being charged. Okay, I'll have to get into that, why this average price is, or it may be some mark-to-market element also. Let's worry about that later. We've got 1,000 shares to worry about. This is my position, 1,000 shares. It's in green because you're long, and you're already losing money. Okay, because you bought at 2103, now it's already dropping. Now I have to make sure that I protect my losses. Where did I put my stop? I said my stop should be on 220.48, so let's make it a little round figure, and let's make it, because I can't get so you, in practice, what you would do is you go to money control and get the actual chart. You can do charts here also, TCS. Let's right click on it. Okay, trading tools, analytical tools. Time and sales, where's the chart? Okay, the charts, they have a separate category. New chart. Okay, 2 days, 5 minutes candles. That's not what I want. I can just go here, and I want to go to a daily chart. Very good. See, I got a daily chart. Now I'm not interested in the volume. Okay, I just want to look at the chart. Now, so this actually confirms for me that this actually confirms for me that high is okay. So I'm losing this amount of money. So let me just actually, I am just interested in this. The low here. Where is it? Okay, here. I got the low. See? When I position it here, see what the low is. This is the 24th of May. If you look at the bottom left of my screen, the 24th of May, it says my lowest point is 2032.45. See, if I move it, the figures keep changing. So this is the point that I'm concerned about. Okay, 2032.45. So let's say I say that 2032.45 gets broken. That invalidates my assumption based on which I've done the trade. So I place it at, say, something below 2032.45. Maybe I just say 2032.25. You could also say 2032.4. Okay, if you see how this is trading, 50, 70, lots of 5, you basically get a 5 gap here. Yeah, so you have 80, 75. So you could actually place it at 40 just to be on the safe side. I'm going to show you the exact strict way to do it. So 2032.45. So if it trades at 2032.4, that means it's broken this level. Okay, so I'm going to place my stop at 2032.4. If now what I've got this is I've got a position. Okay, so what I've got to do is I've got a sell order, because I'll be selling. When I sell, I'll be selling on the bid price. So I've got to place, let me try and see if I can pull through the position. View here. So if I just click on the position, okay. Now what I want to do is I want to give a sell order. Okay, the quantity should be 1,000, and the sell order should not be limit, should not be market, but let me just this out a little bit. In this case, I'm putting a stop order, okay, to limit. So I'm going to put a stop. The code is STP. Yeah, so it's a stop order. 1 minute. Stop order. That thing has disappeared somewhere. Anyway, okay, I just right click on it. I do order entry. Okay, I got back to that. Okay, so it remembers what I entered. I want a sell order. Okay, I want the same position, quantity is 1,000, and I want it to be a stop order. And what is the stop level? Okay, now what did we read off from the chart? We read off 2032.45 is the low, so we said that our trigger is 2032.4. So I'm going to set the stop trigger level here. $20.32.4. Okay, what is the time in force? I don't want it to be just a day order. I want this order to be, this is the time in force field. Okay, and it tells you that we only fill orders during trading hours. In the NSE platform, you don't have an option to fill outside trading hours. So these are your trading hours, 9:15 to 3:30. Okay, that's what you have. Okay, so this is my these are the elements of the order. Size of the order, what type of order is it? It's the stop order. What's the stop trigger level, and what is the time in force for the order? This is GTC, which stands for good till cancel. Let's see if there's anything else we might add from the advanced destination NSE. Yes, because here we don't have a choice. Okay, attach stop loss profit taker bracket. We're not going to do that at this side. One cancel the other, no problem. At this stage we don't need this. We just submit the order, and once again it tells you that the order size exceeds the limit. You're about to submit to review the value various stop order types that are available. Fine, you're not worried about this. I override and transmit. Okay, order sell will be automatically cancelled at 2019-12/31. Okay, that's 31st December. Thank you, Interactive Brokers. This is a facility, as far as I know, that you will only get in Interactive Brokers on this platform. Any changes you have made to it, including adding new tickers, okay, let's close the window. Okay, this particular order which this is just delete it. It's not there. So we got our still order. Okay, so what you have right now is you have 1,000 shares of we have 1,000 shares of TCS, which we bought, and then of course as soon as we bought it we started losing money. We wanted to protect our losses. We identified a point on the chart that at which our since I went long, in this case it's below which our view would be invalidated. Okay, simple high low, very simple way to approach it. Okay, and here you can see the software is actually showing you where your stop is, because we placed the stop over here, remember, 21 whatever it is, 20, 30, 240. So we went long and then we put the stop over there. Okay, so now we are done, and this system will watch your stop for till the 31st of December. Now here's the beauty of this software. One of the reasons why I call it the best software in the world. Many other reasons. You can explore this software, but one of the important reasons is in the Indian market, as far as I know, I mean the last time I checked it was a couple of years ago, but you cannot place stop orders. The Indian platforms that you have, most of them are based on one or two basic software platforms like Odin or whatever. You cannot place stop orders or any order for a GTC basis. GTC means good till cancel. Leave it in the system until I come and cancel it. You can't use GTC orders on Indian software platforms, which is a bit of a pain for people who are trading from a long-term view. Because when I look at TCS and take this view, I expect this to not go below this and eventually go to new highs above 2300. I don't expect it to happen today, so it will take a few months. I'm not going to sell the shares. I'm going to hold on to it and try to buy some more as it starts going up. So what I really need is the basic risk management facility of protecting my maximum loss. Okay, now if I have that, I can just do this trade and I can just go home, go on a holiday or something like that. I'm not really worried because I know how much I'm going to lose. Okay, so this is what the system does here. Why the software is so superior? They have access to the NSE feed. They're connected to the servers, and they're giving you a facility where the software is simulating the stop order. Most exchange software does not support orders beyond a day period. Most exchange software, so the native exchange software, that is a native NSE or the NYSE or the NASDAQ's server software. So it's the superiority of the broker's software that helps you to trade in a more sophisticated way by using orders like GTC, which will remain in place in this particular case till 12th of December, 31st December 2019. So here's one of the reasons this is, and so let's do one more calculation. We have already done this, but we can do it one more time. How much am I going to lose? Let's just take their average trading price as my average price is my average price is 2103.48. So 2103.5. Okay, so how much can I lose? What's the maximum loss on this? Let's assume that the stop is triggered. I want to see this. Yeah. So my stop trigger is 2032.4. Now here you have to be a little bit conservative. If the market triggers the order at 2032.4, it's unlikely that they'll be able to sell 1,000 shares. You saw how long it took. So you have to assume that by the time, on average price at which you will sell your shares is not 2032.4, but it's probably going to be something like 2030. To be on the conservative side, you should really budget 2031.5. Conservative budgeting. So how much can you lose? 2031.5 minus 2103.48 times 1000. If you write the expression like that in a spreadsheet, that tells you your maximum loss. 2031.5. I'm not going to click that because I may show you some passwords and stuff. Okay, all right, so we can do it somewhere. You can easily do it. What are you going to do? The maximum projected loss here, 2031.5, conservative estimate of the actual selling price for 1,000 shares if the stop is triggered, minus 2103.48. That's the loss per share. It'll come up with a minus sign, multiplied by the number of shares, just 1,000 shares. Okay. On the selling side, you also have to add the brokerage. You've got to find out the brokerage per share from the Interactive Brokers webpage, which I've given you. Find out the commissions for the NSE. All right, so that's it. We have a position in NSE cash equities. Okay, we bought TCS. Let's see how this does. Now we're going to close this account and then I'll show you one more time how to actually launch it. Okay, are you sure you want to exit? Yes. I don't need this message once again. The layout is must be locked before the application can be locked. It and exit. This is the lock. So one of the problems with the software is it's so big, very powerful software. Please explore all this stuff. Okay, you may not get all the functionality with NSE data, but later on when we do the US equity option trading software, you will get this. So if you follow the instructions that I gave you for downloading the software and you have Java enabled on your software, on your machine, you will get this icon. Just click this icon, it will launch. It sometimes takes a long time to download latest updates and stuff like that. It's a very big piece of software. It takes a long time to launch, long time to close, and so you should budget for that. Alright, so this is what you're going to get. Make sure you're not in live trading. Make sure you're in paper trading. That will be the automatic thing. Similarly, your trading thing will show you here your username. Enter your username, ABCD123, whatever it is. Enter the passwords that have been sent to you. Please guard your username and password carefully within your group. I don't want to see anybody saying, oh, Ritesh stole my password, this, that. None of this crybaby stuff. You guard your password properly, okay? So this is what you do. You enter your username and password, then it'll take a long time to log in, but eventually you'll go back to the same login prompt that I showed you at the very beginning of this video, where it was talking about a little pop-up box. This is not a real brokerage account. I understand and accept. You have to click that. That's where you'll be. So you know now how to log in, how to install the software to log in, how to check that your NSE data is live, how to enter NSE tickers, any ticker, and how to, we had a recap on how to form a very quick technical view, very simple, how to enter the position, how to trade, how to set a stop, how to calculate your losses. All this stuff has been covered. Okay, that ends your tutorial here.